Now, after we discovered PortalKeeper features and planned for our adapters, we are going to build two agents taking care of the captcha display and validation respectively. Let's create our render override. We've got two options, typed or portable. Remember the mode settings? Portable is mainly here for path-based adapters. It means the agent won't be tied to the adapted control type, and that's because for dynamic controls it is expected to change between individual DNN instances. Here we can go safely for typed agent instead. It gives us more comfort during the editing. But in any case, there's also a command button to easily upgrade or downgrade typed and portable adapters. So this is our captcha render override, and it renders Google Recaptcha and hides the native DNN captcha. The handler step is render, and we want the existing base handler to be executed after our own override. Let's save that. So we've planned two actions here, but let's talk parameters first. You don't have to use parameters if your actions are self-contained. It just makes it clear and convenient for later changes. So we've got Recaptcha public key. It is a string. And a simple instance will do. But note that we can use dynamic expressions instead. And our instance with a simple text box is equivalent to that expression of a string in the text array. PortalKeeper expressions are built with a library called Flea. Their syntax and capabilities are very close to regular code. You can learn more about it on the original website, and there is an updated C# port which is called Flea Sharp. Then we want a parameter for the HTML template. So that would be Recaptcha HTML template. We could make it a string or CData, which is the equivalent for text array. But in order to inject the public key into the template, we'll use tokens, similar to those proposed by the DNN core. There's a dedicated command type for that. Let's have an instance of it. And let's figure out the Recaptcha template. So we are going for the Ajax definition. We'll add the div. And then the scripts. But then we don't want to display it with a click. Let's just call the function directly. Also, we want to account for ASP.NET Ajax callbacks. So let's add a dedicated handler that calls the function again at the end of any update panel refresh. That would be invoking the client page request manager object. and hooking up an end request handler. And this is the same function call. Let's save to make the text area of a better size. And finally, we want to include the no-script alternative for better accessibility. Oops, a typo there. Okay, now about injecting the public key. We've declared a dedicated parameter for that. Let's use tokens. The token system here is a highly improved version of the core DNN token engine. Let's just assume all parameters and local variables are available through the items token prefix. So this is how we invoke our public key parameter. Save. Okay, now we have our parameters. Let's build our actions. Because our agent is quite low level, we'll stay close to the code. High-level agents typically make use of a variety of action types. Okay, we've got our agent entry method argument. It's an HTML text writer argument. And our two actions are write the Recaptcha text and then output a style attribute to hide the following div. So that's two object actions on the writer. Let's add the HTML. So we'll target our writer argument, the type of which is HTML text writer. Now we want an expression for that writer. So I could just type writer from earlier. But if you don't remember the name of that variable, there is a convenient expression builder. It will let you browse the available variables and their corresponding submembers. You can also build binary operations amongst other features. So let's just insert our variable. Now about the action. We'll call a method. We'll call the write method. It takes a string as an argument. Let's prepare that argument. Okay, again, if we don't know what to look for, the expression builder comes handy. So I want the content of my HTML template, but that with token replace applied. Now the advanced token replace object is available in the action context, which is exposed as a set expression owner. The expression is compiled and tied to its owner type, by default the context class. As an actual class member, it can invoke its members directly. That's what's behind the important expression owner concept. But we'll come back later to that concept. Okay, we've got our Recaptcha content sorted. Let's test our adapter. Okay, the HTML is there. Let's now hide the native captcha. We can do that in the browser by setting a style attribute. So let's do that in the adapter. The action is quite similar, so let's just copy the earlier call. So this time we just hide native captcha. The object is similar, but for the action we'll call the add style attribute. We prepare the parameters. Name is display and value is known. Save and test again. Okay, good. We're done with our rendering agent.